Now we're out here investigating a 2-year-old cutting that we completed about this time 2 years ago. Really cool to see all the regeneration, especially when we come up here, some of my favorite trees. Now we have some maple that we cut down in here, some aspen, we're getting some aspen regeneration. But I would have to say my favorite tree out of them all is a box elder. And there's a box elder tree standing behind me. And kind of the goal of coming down in here, we opened back up this road. A lot of blowdowns had fallen down on it. So we cleaned it up yesterday, got back in here, and love coming into this spot because it's turned into such an exceptional bedding area. This was pretty open before. You could see right up into the woods. You can still see up into the woods in the back, but this lower bench and flat area that's probably 50 yards across and hundreds of yards wide is getting really thick. So my favorite tree, box elder. What are we gonna do with it? We're gonna cut them down. And what I mean by that is when we have box elder, they're great, they're already leaning. So then we can take that tree and put a back hinge cut on it. We're cutting usually only halfway through the tree, and that tree will start to fall down with the lean, and it'll hold up, and then it'll prolifically sprout. And so what it'll do is it'll shoot up side sprouts. And the reason we want those hinge cuts to be a little bit lower, maybe waist high, thigh high for us, and you just put that straight back cut flush on the back side, is we want, when that tree falls over, we're not doing this so that deer go under it. You know, rabbits can go under it, grouse can go under it, that's okay. But what we want sprouts to come off the side of that trunk that goes down, and all those sprouts equal food and browse for whitetails. You know, yeah, cover for grouse, cover for rabbits, we're doing that at the same time, but it equals food, very important food, and cover for whitetails from sometime in October all the way to the end of the winter. Before that herbaceous growth starts popping in the spring and we get that spring green up, that's a time of plenty in the whitetail woods. That's when deer don't need our help in any way. Once that green takes place, then the purpose of this bedding area down here, now it could be that does have fawns in here. We have plenty of fawning cover. We're not lacking fawning cover. We don't have to come out here and create fawning cover. What we need is really good fall, late fall, and winter browse. And box elder is one of the best trees for that. It's one of the easiest to cut down. And I'm not saying I don't like aspen. We have aspen right over here that I can cut down in combination of this, and that'll extend this across the trail and get more regeneration down here. We completely cut the aspen down. Completely cut it because you want it to sprout out of the lateral root system, where the box elder is going to sprout out of the trunk and the actual log itself of the tree once it's hinge cut. And so 2 different cutting methods doing the same exact thing, and that's putting stem count and hardwood regeneration up in the air, and then also creating side cover. Side cover is critical. Side cover is that cover that when we're looking through this flat right here keeps us from looking all the way through. We can only see about 10, 12 yards in there, 15 yards at the most. And there's little trails. We found beds right up here yesterday. I'm sure there's beds all the way around the top side of this if we looked around. But we're getting incredible regeneration here. Box elder is one of my favorites. Aspen is a close second. You could say they're my favorite if we don't have any box elder around. Sometimes we have all box elder. We're blessed with both of them in this area. And so the answer is to cut more down. And that's what I'm gonna do right now. So what we've done here, we already had an area that was about a 1/4 acre to 1/3 of an acre in size, where we cut the timber down quite a bit, almost in a clear cut. And that was going back a couple years. So a lot of times when I come back to a bedding area like this, location's already good. What we want to do is just extend out from there. And kind of more of a, excuse me, a time management thing where we're looking at, let's get in here, get the bedding area cut, spend an hour down here and get out. Next time we come in, there's a lot of openings in and around this cutting where deer are traveling through. There's good deer trails coming in and out. And we take a pocket like this, it's behind Dylan. I can add a box elder cutting right here, box elder cutting down here, and now we isolate this pocket, but deer can still crisscross and get in and out and side to side. So what it's doing is it's extending that value of the bedding area where deer can actually get in, out, have favorable browse. And of course, when the sunlight's now hitting the ground, we get an explosion of all kinds of growth in here. So that's a lot of fun. What's the whole purpose of this? You know, this is an area that by location, it's a perfect bedding area, perfect flat down here. It's very isolated and hidden. In fact, from our nearest food here, we have food that way, quarter mile or more. We have food up and over on the other side. So straight as a crow flies, it might be a quarter mile, but lay of the land at 600-700 yards. So when we get back into an area like this, that's hidden and remote, great browse, we're getting to that backside of bedding where we have a lot of does and fawns bedding closer to the food. And then when we get down here, we have that actual buck bedding opportunity. And what that all means for us is that we have access down low here. We're down low in this portion of the property. So we can park across over there, working on a road system, come all the way through here in the morning, and then we can get to the back side of this bedding area. In the morning with northerly winds, we can expect our winds to go right up that knob or right off to the side. That knob is so steep, there's not a lot of deer movement. They're either coming around the bottom here, or they're coming in from the shelf up above here, up high over there. So as long as we keep our wind blowing from north to south in this location in the morning, then we'll keep it ramping up and keep it out of here. So what we're actually doing is we're widening this road down here, keeping it clean. We'll plant our Green Max traffic blend that'll allow us to mow this, walk in with rubber boots. We always use a rubber lacrosse boots. We're not leaving a lot of scent. And then we can get behind this bedding area in the morning when deer shouldn't be down here in the first place. They're all the way up in the ag fields feeding. We're walking in through non-ag area. We can slip around the back side of this, find a tree on the back side of this bedding, which we're going to do here in a little bit. And then we can wait for the deer to come back to us in the morning. Of course, if we have a mock scrape in front of that stand of all the trails crisscrossing around and through here, it'll tell us what bucks are back here and when. And so we don't have to come all the way down here and check it out. We've actually never hunted this portion of the property. We've made it better to hold deer. We actually have bedding up behind us on the ridge point. Joel helped us with that last year. And then we've created bedding pockets here and there. So really cool spot to create a bedding area. We can use that box elder as my favorite tree. In fact, I'm looking at one to the right of Dylan right now, and it just looks like it needs to come down. So as long as it's not coming down over our road, then I want to get that one down before we leave. And again, we're just isolating this pocket. I was able to hit a few aspen down on this side, drop them off of the cliff right here so we can get more aspen regeneration coming in with the briars down here. And it's crazy with those aspen. They'll create shoots going out almost as high as that tree is off to the side. That lateral root system really spreads out. When you cut the tree, shoots come out of the root system, get an explosion of growth, and again, side cover and food. It's from that October time frame, sometime when it starts to get cold. Weeds are dying, herbaceous growth is gone. That's a big difference. You know, you get down into Missouri, Tennessee, Louisiana, there's areas like that where you can create herbaceous growth in an area like this and get value out of it all hunting season long. And that's a really cool thing. But when you get up here in the north half of the country, when you get into late October, November, it's starting to get really cold. All the green's dead. And so what really your property is going to be defined, and the success is going to be measured on how much quality woody browse you have. Doesn't matter if it's shrub tips, hardwood regen, briars. If you have that for the deer, for that entire late fall and winter time, then you're winning as far as it goes for creating great deer habitat. Couple it with good food plots. Area like this where we can work on the buck bedding area, slip in, we have a way to hunt this. It all comes together, and you can bet we'll bring it to you this fall. I appreciate you guys watching the YouTube channel, but I don't know if everyone knows everything that we have to offer, whether it's on whitetailhabitatsolutions.com, our website, our WHS Wildlife Blends, our seed company. Also Instagram you can check out. I'm very active on Instagram, putting strategies on there, photos of what we do every day. Much more active there than Facebook. But our seed, web classes, books, clients, articles. I have over 600 articles on whitetailhabitatsolutions.com, everything whitetail strategy. Of course, we have hats on there, and then make sure to check us out on Instagram again. But Lots of stuff to offer. We're always coming out with new things, and this isn't the end of it. We have more things coming soon. Make sure to check us out.